Hey everyone, welcome back to Dev Parkour. I'm Brian Parks. This is my cat Tux. In this video, I want to talk about my initial plans for continuous deployment. So if you watched yesterday's video, we saw a CI pipeline using GitLab CI, but I stopped just short of continuous deployment. In fact, when we got to that stage, we ran it broke. It didn't work. The main reason for that is that I don't yet have a deployment target. I don't actually have a machine to deploy Glassminnow 2, but in this coming week we'll actually change all of that. So I wanted to share some of the things that I'm thinking through as I'm getting to that. Obviously, the easiest thing to do, well, maybe not the easiest thing to do, but kind of the level one thing to do is to just have a VPS, a virtual private server in the cloud. And that's probably what I'm going to do. I haven't decided 100% yet, but that's kind of the direction I'm leaning toward. That's the way it was deployed before, so I should be able to use a lot of the existing deployment functionality, a lot of the existing deployment scripts, and just change where they're pointing to, change the machine that it's uploading the code to. So that's probably what I'm going to do. We'll see. Some other ideas, some other alternatives would be things like building a Docker container. We are already building a Docker container, and then deploying it to a Kubernetes farm or something like that. There is a little bit more involved in just setting up that, the Kubernetes cluster and getting all that set up. That might come with a little bit of additional expense. And one of the things that I am trying to do on this project is not spend too much of my own money out of pocket. More than happy to get sponsorships or assistance to help me pay for that stuff. But for now, it's just coming out of my own pocket. So I don't want to spend a whole lot on that. Not that it's prohibitive, not that the cost is super prohibitive. It's just that running a single VPS that's just enough to run the Glassminnow app is going to be a lot cheaper than building out an entire infrastructure to be able to run that plus Kubernetes plus the database, plus, just a whole bunch of stuff. So that's probably the direction I'm going to go. Other things to think about, obviously this is in a Git repository, so I could do some fancy Git deployment where I use Git on the server. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do specifically a package deployment, whether I build a Docker image that then gets deployed or just package everything up and deploy it. One of the comments I made yesterday was that it didn't look like Composer, the Composer packages were being pulled down as part of the build process. And that seemed kind of weird to me. So what's actually happening is that we're running Composer on the server that we actually deploy to. I might play around with that in the coming week. And obviously I'll show you next week what I arrive at. Obviously if I pull down the packages during build and then make them part of the package, the resulting package, it'll be quite a bit bigger, but it will mean that I won't have to run Composer on the deployment environment, which means I won't have to install Composer on the deployment environment, which means that the configuration required for that environment will be significantly smaller. I'll just need to install PHP, something to sit in front of it, which in my case will probably be Nginx. That's my preference. And then I'll have to find somewhere to put the database. So I think that's pretty much it for today. Go ahead and leave a comment down below if you have questions, thoughts. Maybe you have contacts to a VPS hosting platform that would support the channel by giving me, maybe some sort of free allocation. I will share tomorrow which hosting provider I'm leaning toward, but yeah, if you have options, thoughts, be sure to leave a comment down below. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you tomorrow.